Hello students, in the last lecture we have used Gauss theorem to find out the electric field due to a uniformly charged infinite plane sheet. Let's use that application to find out the electric field in different cases now. Now the question is, you have two infinitely plane parallel having uniform charge densities sigma 1 and sigma 2, and it is given that sigma 1 is greater than sigma 2, and you have to find out electric field at points on the left of the sheet, in between the sheets, and to the right of the sheets. That in the diagram you can see are shown by region 1, region 2 and region 3. We have already calculated that the electric field intensity due to a sheet is sigma upon 2 epsilon naught, right? Now firstly consider sigma 1 sheet and draw the electric field lines for that one, right? And it is denoted in the diagram by E1 vector. Similarly, now for sheet 2, draw the electric field lines, and in this diagram they are denoted by E2 vector. Now you know the magnitude, that is equals to sigma upon 2 epsilon naught. So in the region 1, as E1 and E2 both are in the same direction, that means what you got? You got sigma 1 plus sigma 2 upon 2 epsilon naught. In the region 2, E1 is towards right and E2 is towards left. And you know that we have considered sigma 1 is greater than sigma 2. So the net electric field intensity will be towards sigma 1, and that will be equals to sigma 1 minus sigma 2 upon 2 epsilon naught, because the direction of both electric field intensities are opposite. And in the region 3, you can see that E1 and E2 both are along x-axis and same direction. That means the E will be equals to sigma 1 plus sigma 2 upon 2 epsilon naught, and the direction will be along positive x-axis as shown in the figure. Now let's consider the next case. In this case, two infinite plane parallel are given to you having uniform charge densities sigma 1 and sigma 2, but the sigma 2 is minus, means negatively charged sheet. You can say that the charge densities are sigma 1 and minus sigma 2, and you have to find out the electric field in the three regions as shown. As we have done in the last case, draw the electric field lines for sigma 1 first and then for sigma 2. Now as sigma 2 is negatively charged density, that means the electric field lines will be towards the sheet as shown in the E2 vector. So in the region 1, what? E1 is along negative x-axis and E2 is along positive x-axis, and as earlier sigma 1 is greater than sigma 2, so the net electric field will be sigma 1 minus sigma 2 upon 2 epsilon naught, and the net direction will be along negative x-axis. In the region 2, E1 and E2 both are in the same direction, so you got sigma 1 plus sigma 2 upon 2 epsilon naught. And in the region 3, E1 is along x-axis, E2 is along minus x-axis. So what you got? Sigma 1 minus sigma 2 upon 2 epsilon naught, and the direction will be along positive x-axis because sigma 1 is greater than sigma 2. Now, note down that if in exam this question comes and it is given that the sheets are having densities plus minus sigma, means sigma 1 is equals to sigma and sigma 2 is equals to minus sigma, then what will be your answer? Because the magnitude is same and the signs are opposite, so what you will got? You will got what? Sigma minus sigma upon 2 epsilon naught in the region, that means 0. Similarly in the third region the answer will be 0, and in the second region your answer will be sigma plus sigma upon 2 epsilon naught, means sigma upon epsilon naught. Now let's do the next application of Gauss theorem. Here you have to find out the electric field due to a uniformly charged thin spherical shell. Thin spherical shell means what? The inner and the outer radius is almost same, and that we have considered capital R. Now there will be three regions again. First one inside the shell, second one on side means on the surface of the shell, and the outer surface of shell. Here we have considered firstly a point outside the shell. Now P point is outside the shell, and that is at a distance small r from the center of the shell O, and the charge Q is uniformly distributed over the surface of the shell, and the sigma is the surface charge density. Now by using Gauss theorem, firstly what we have to do? We have to choose a Gaussian surface. As the point P is at a distance r, so the Gaussian surface will be also spherical, and you can see that the area vector and the electric field at any point will make an angle 0 degree, means both are parallel to each other. So by using Gauss theorem, electric flux phi E will be equals to the closed surface integral of E dot ds, and that you know that will be equals to Q upon epsilon naught. So as the angle is 0, so you simply got E into integral of ds over the closed surface S, and that you know it is 4 pi small r square, because the Gaussian surface you have chosen is of radius small r. So E will be equals to Q upon 4 pi epsilon naught r square, and in terms of sigma, what you got? Replace Q by sigma into area, right? And here the area will be what? 4 pi capital R square, because the charge is present on the surface of the shell, and here you have to take the radius capital R. Similarly, by following the same method, find out the surface charge density on the surface, and considering the Gaussian surface also on the surface, what you got? You got the electric field intensity is equals to Q upon 4 pi epsilon naught capital R square, and by putting the value of Q in terms of sigma, you got E is equals to sigma upon epsilon naught. That means this value is maximum, and it depends only on sigma and epsilon naught. Now consider a point inside the spherical shell, and it is of radius r dash as shown in the adjacent figure. So by following the same steps, what you got? You got E into the integral of ds over the surface S equals to Q upon epsilon naught. By putting the value of ds as 4 pi r dash square equals to Q upon epsilon naught. Now you have to put Q equals to 0. Why 0? Because the charge is present on the surface of the shell. So E is equals to 0, and because E is 0 inside, so it will again act as a cavity for electrostatic shielding. The graph is shown. The maximum electric field intensity is on the surface. We have calculated it as sigma upon epsilon naught. From 0 to capital R, it is 0. At R, it is sigma by epsilon naught. And after that, it will be following inversely proportional to R square. Thank you. And that ends this chapter, first chapter of the unit electrostatic. Now I will upload a assignment and you have to solve it. Thank you.